What up, everyone? Back for another video. Gonna do a monthly review, and this is going to be a big one. Not only do we have all the monthly and quarterly boxes kind of lining up at the same time, I've also got 2 new ones I'm trying out. So we have 8 boxes in total, so this is going to be a pretty long video, but I'll go through it as quickly as possible. So strap in and let's do this shit. Right, pup? Exactly. Alright, first box. Loot Crate is back, by the way. They're supposed to be monthly, but we haven't seen them in months, again. So that's just kind of their thing. You buy stuff from them, and they'll send it whenever they feel like it. Might take them a year or something like that, but you'll get it sometime, supposedly. So they're back with a box, and I think they've just abandoned doing themes, because something I've suspected for a while, I'm pretty sure this box shows that, and that is that they had original themes and items planned. They didn't go as planned, so they put random stuff in there just to get the boxes out. That being said, let's take a look. Alright, got our shirt, and this is a Buffy the Vampire Slayer. So I'm guessing this is an older shirt. I don't think this is one they done recently, but I could be wrong. That'll get the standard $12 to $15 value. As far as a score on that, I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10. Because their shirts are still, they're decent. Quality's okay. Not super great, but not super terrible. And the designs are usually well done. It's just a little bit better than okay. So 6 out of 10, 12 to 15 on the value. Next, we got a pin from Suicide Squad. And we got a figure from Suicide Squad. So you can see what I mean when I think they just put in random stuff. It seems very clear they were going to do a, not necessarily a Suicide Squad themed box, but something along that pattern. And they just didn't have time to do it, or whatever the reason is. So like, just throw in a random shirt and get it out. So I'm curious to see if anyone else got Buffy, or if everyone just got a random shirt. Because at this point, I think they're just trying to fulfill orders, because they're almost a year behind on some of them. So I think that's probably the better choice. But let's take a look at the figure. Oh, sorry. Value on the pin is $6 to $15. Why such a wide range? Because it was really hard to find any significant values. That's a very common theme for all the boxes this month. Very hard to find any information whatsoever. I saw one listed for 6, but all the rest were listed for around 15. So if that one sells, technically it's 15, so it's kind of a wide range there. Next, we got our King Shark figure, and I'll take it out and give a little picture of it. The quality on it's fine. It's decent. Nothing crazy about it. Loot Crate had the habit of doing really awkward, disproportionate figures in the past. This one looks pretty normal. Nothing super high quality about it. The price on that's going only for about 10 to 15, which is, it seems low, but that's pretty standard with figures from a box like this. So that being said, value on the low end is 28, and on the high end is 45. So not great. This ends up being about a $30 box. So you're on the low end, you're not quite even getting what you paid for. And on the high end, you're getting almost 50% more. So for that reason, I'm going to give it a 4 out of 10. It seems like this company is struggling. It seemed like it for such a long time. Honestly, years, even before they got bought out. And it just doesn't seem any better. They're months, if not a year, behind on orders. They're just putting together random boxes. There's really no thought or quality to them. I don't know what's going to happen. I would say they would go out of business, but NECA owns them. And NECA's not going anywhere. They make shitloads of money. So they're not leaving anytime soon. So I don't know what's going to happen. But yeah, 4 out of 10. At least it's back. It's better than not having it at all. I'm talking too much. I said it was going to be a short video. I'm not doing a good job. Alright, next. We got Geek Fuel. This one is another one that's been struggling. Of the few remaining, most of them struggling. So they used to do the T-shirt club, and they switched over to the regular box, but it's pretty much the action figure club, more specifically the reaction figure club, because that's pretty much what we get. They traded out t-shirts for figures. I don't think that was a good trade, but you know, whatever. This one, we got different Street Fighter figures. I got M. Bison, and the value on this is about 15 to 18, depends on what figure and all that, what characters. Some characters are more popular than others, but that's pretty common price for a reaction figure, right around that $15 to $18 value. Then, you got a pin from Mega Man. I'll get mine straight. Any multiple different characters you got. I can't remember this guy's name. I want to say it's like Strong Man or something like that. Not very creative names in Mega Man. But that's the pin I got. And the value on that, about 16 to 18. And again, depends on what figure, but Mega Man was a really popular franchise, and Mondo's a really popular brand. So, good combination. Kind of wish I had gotten Mega Man. It's okay that I didn't. But that being said, around that value, none of them are being sold for that. So if you wanted to buy your own, you'd have to pay 16 to 18, but none of them have sold at that value, so keep that in mind. Last, we got a card, our little collector's card. And this is something they're starting, the Super Collectors Club. This is the exact same thing that BAM tried to do and failed at, and it's just not really a good idea. This is never going to be worth anything. When you're trying to do collectible cards, you can't just send one out. You have to send multiple out and see what people get and put different rarities and all that. If you just put a card in there, there's just no value on that. People online are asking $12 for it. It's not selling for that, not surprisingly. Honestly, if I had to give it any value, I'd put it at nothing. I really don't think it's worth anything. So the value range on that is $0 to $12. So overall, that brings our value on the low end 43 and on the high end 48. But again, those values are based on things that are not selling, so it's hard to justify that value. If I had to give it my personal opinion, my honest opinion of a value, less than 30 on that. Total for everything in there. That's just from my experience. But that's just a guess. So that being said, I'm going to give it a 5.5 out of 10 because it wasn't horrible. You did get more than you paid for, and at least they're working with good branded companies, so that's appreciated. They just have so much work to do, and it's never going to happen because this company has been floundering as well. I think it's only a matter of time before they finally shut down or file for bankruptcy or whatever's in the cards to them. Really sad to say, really sad to see, but it is what it is. They were once a great company, and now they are not. Next, Marvel Collector Corps. This one, we got Wakanda Forever. Back to the theme of getting them well after the movie comes out, when I wish they would come before the movie, because I could wear the shirt to the premiere. So, this one we got a shirt. I'll take it out and take a picture of it so you don't have to hear me unwrapping. But nothing super special about it. It's got a cool design. Value-wise, it's going to be about $12 to $15. A score on the shirt, I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10. Black Panther was so bittersweet for me and for pretty much everyone that saw it because there was no Black Panther. There was no original Black Panther, and it's so sad that to watch it and not see him there. You try to still enjoy it, and it was a decent movie, but that's all I can really say about it. And the shirt just kind of exemplifies that. It's a cool design, but it's weird to not have the original Black Panther on the shirt. It's just a bunch of supporting characters, so it's just kind of weird. So 6 out of 10 on that. Then we got a pin, M'Baku. This goes for about 6 to 8, which is pretty standard. They always go for around that amount. They would go for more if they put a backing on it, but that's just me. Then we got our decal of Shuri. That's going for 6 to 7. And again, on those, as usual, not selling for that, but that's what you'd have to pay if you wanted them. Then we got two figures. We got AO and we got Black Panther. So, the figures are going for, AO's going for about 8 to 14. Not surprising because she's barely like a main character. She just hasn't had much screen time, hasn't had many lines, so she's kind of in between supporting and main character, and it's so just not popular. So not surprising. And then Shuri's going for about somewhere between 11 and 20. Big range on those because there are a lot of auctions. So if you wanted to be patient and wait for an auction, you can get either of those at a significantly cheaper price. But if you wanted it today, buy it now prices are in that $20 and $14 range. So you kind of judge what it's worth based on that. So Shuri's obviously worth more. She kind of was the main character of the movie, but still not the most popular character around. So that's why these aren't going for that much. So not surprised at all. So that brings our value on the low end of 43, on the high end of 64. This is about a $30 box, so decent value. You're getting a little bit more than you paid for on the low end, and you're getting almost double on the high end, but I definitely wouldn't value it on that higher end just for the reasons I gave. So for those reasons, I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10. It was a good job. Not their best month, but not their worst, and a lot of characters that just weren't super popular. Not necessarily Marvel's fault. They had to do it for the movie, but it's just weird that we didn't get, like, Namor. He didn't appear in there at all. That's weird. Like, why not? So, I don't know. It is what it is. Next, the BAM box. So they made some announcements over the holiday break as well. It's Christmas when I'm recording this, by the way. I don't know when it's getting posted. It's a long video, but they made some announcements over the holiday that they're changing things again. That's kind of seems like that's Bandbox's thing. Coming up with new ideas, then immediately changing them. So, I mean, it's not really a bad thing. It's just funny, I guess. So they're going to go back to more of an original style. They said they're going to get rid of, not necessarily get rid of the art prints, but they're going to stop having them be signed. They're still going to be numbered, and they say that's going to increase the quality of the prints, which, you know, fine. I'm okay with that as long as they say it's getting better. Also, they're going to start doing prop replicas again, which I liked. They weren't always fantastic, but I wish they would mix it up. I've been saying for a while, switch it off with prints and replicas. That would be fine. Again, I'm rambling. All right, what do we got in this box? First, we got a signature from Mark Steger. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, but he is an actual actor. I had to look up what he did. He's the in-suit actor from the Demogorgon from Stranger Things. So there was an in-suit actor. Most of it was CGI, but some scenes had an in-suit actor, and that was him. That's his name. He's done other stuff too. He's done a bunch of other stuff as himself, but just kind of random stuff here and there. So that's that, and the value on that is going for about 25 to 30, which I'm kind of surprised about. He's not a super well-known actor. I guess he's associated with a really popular show, but I was surprised that that's normal, by the way. $25 to $30 on a signature is pretty standard. I'm just surprised that it's getting that from an in-suit actor. Not that that's bad, I was just a little surprised. So 25 to 30 on that. Next, we got an art print from Derek Payne, and this was of Wakanda Forever with Namor in it. So I wasn't a big fan of the new design of Namor. Again, not bad, but I'm just like, meh. So that's going for almost always they go for about 10 to 12 bucks. Again, not selling for that. Most people don't ever buy these online, but if you wanted to, you'd have to pay around 10 or 12 bucks for them. And they always give a rare version, but those honestly end up going for the same price usually because it's just like a different color scheme. So that's why I've been saying they need to switch it up with the prints, and seems like they're kind of going to, but we'll see what comes of that. The stickers are staying around. These little peeker stickers is just a different character. We got Optimus Prime this time, and that's going for like 5 to 10. Fine, that's like sticker price. Then we got a pin. You either got Ren or Stimpy. They did the old way where Ren was the rare one and Stimpy was the common. I liked how they've been doing where you could get either character and then each one just had a rare version. So I didn't like it when rarity was character specific. But this is going for 12 to 15. Very common price for BAM pins. And yeah, that's just kind of always their price. The cards, I do want to give them some value. I think it's worth something, but that's kind of up to you. I give it a $3 to $5 value because there's so much variation. The fact that you can turn in your commons for a signature makes it have some value. That's what made me decide it needs some value, but how much is subjective. So I kind of went based on that and what random card pack prices are worth. Also, what some of the rare cards are going for online. I came up with 3 to 5. There it is. So on the low end, we got 55. On the high end, 72. This box is like a $45 to $50 box. So on the low end, not getting much more than you paid for. On the high end, getting decent value. But the values on these, all these are selling for those prices. So that makes it considerably more valuable if they are selling in between those. And I like the autograph, and it's going for a good price. And everything about it was good and 100% exclusive. So all things considered, I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. It didn't blow my mind by any means, but everything in here was good. Everything in here was enjoyable, good quality, 100% exclusive. I think that's fair. There we go on BAM. Next, we got Zobie. All right, autograph in here. We got Femi Taylor. Again, don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. But she is super not well known either. She was an in-suit kind of actor. She was this chick on Star Wars. I don't remember her name because she was just kind of a supporting character. And that autograph is going for $35 to $40, which is unbelievable. That's really high for an autograph. And again, someone that only did kind of one specific thing. She did other things, but again, nothing super popular. And it was also something where she was in a suit. So again, I'm just very surprised. Still cool. Glad to have it, but surprised on the value. Shirt. So we got one from Die Hard. there's that. It'll get the standard 12 to 15. Score on this, I'm giving it a 5 out of 10. I like the design a lot better than some of the designs they've been doing recently. They have a very common theme of just doing like words on there, and it just gets boring after a while. So this design is a lot better. Quality on the shirt is still shit. It's absolute shit. Worst shirts of any box company out there. Terrible. 5 out of 10 on that. Then we got some stickers, also from Die Hard. These are cool. I like this one, at least, the gun taped to the bag. That's pretty cool. I think these are cool and kind of funny because it's something that you really probably wouldn't ever see. You wouldn't ever see, like, Die Hard stickers, and if you did, you wouldn't see one of, like, a gun. It's much rarer to see adult stickers. There's a reason why adults don't really want stickers. But what I do, I always turn these into magnets. I get magnet paper, stick them on there, cut them out, and then put them on my fridge. You can kind of see, just barely, my fridge. See, these are all just stickers. So that's what I do with them, so I appreciate them. As far as value, about $6 to $7, which I think is fair. If you saw them in a store, that's probably what they'd be, 2 of them for $6 or $7. Then we got an ornament, and this is from Home Alone, only because it says McAllister family, and it has a turtle dove on there. But if you remember from the movie, the ornament he had were actual turtle doves. So it seems weird to make an ornament from a movie, but not make the ornament from the movie. See what I'm saying? Like, that's just a really weird choice. I'm sure there's a reason for it, but either way, it's just a ornament that references another ornament that's in a movie. So value on that is $13 to $15, but again, that's what it's being listed for. No one is paying that, and I don't think anyone's going to because it's such a weird choice. Who would pay money for that? So, value, low end 56, high end 77. I'm giving this box a 6 out of 10. Why lower than BAM, even though it's so similar? Well, the shirt is shit. I think that's terrible quality. The ornament is super weird. The stickers are cool, but kind of useless for most people. But yeah, and this autograph goes for a good amount. But again, it's just such a specific thing. So I'm still shocked it's selling for that price. So I think 6 out of 10 is fair on that. All right. Next up, one of everyone's favorites, the Pusheen box. This is from Culturefly, and one of the boxes that continuously just kills it. So first we got a zip-up hoodie. This one is a gaming theme, by the way, which I don't know about anyone else, but I thought it was weird they didn't do a holiday theme. Maybe because they've just done it so many times that it's getting old, which I get, but I don't know, it's just weird to see a gaming box in December. So there's the picture on the back, Pusheen gaming it up, and there's the picture on the front. I actually really like this hoodie. But the problem with a lot of these boxes is that you put your size in at the beginning, which makes sense, but you only get one chance to put your size in, and then they just assume everything else. I don't know about you, but it depends on what it is. If it's a shirt, sometimes I like them more fitted. But if it's a jacket or overwear, I usually like those baggy. I like them bigger, and so I get them in different sizes. And I think a lot of people are the same way in the sense that they get different sizes for different things. So if this were a shirt, it would have fit me great. But now that it's a jacket, a large, like, just is a little too snug on me, and it looks awkward. So that's just a random thought. That's a bummer that if the people making this box are watching, give other options. Say t-shirts, say sweatshirts, say shoes. Have all the different things in there. That's just my opinion. Anyway, the hoodie is going for about $40 to $45. Not surprising, Pusheen is the most popular fucking cat on the planet, and the quality is really nice on it. Next, we got... Oh, come on. A beanie. What's up? He just says, it's Pusheen again in his gamer thing. Says, I'm busy. That's adorable. Again, good quality on this, and they even go through the trouble to put a tag on it, which is rare. Usually when people put stuff in boxes, they don't bother putting a tag on it as well because it's not going to go on store shelves. But they did, and things like that help with the value. So value on this, 10 to 15. Nothing crazy, but, you know, does have some value. Next, we got a figure. These always go for a good amount. It's Pusheen and Cloudy, is I think the other figure. So that's going for about 25 to 30. Like, that's what it's listed for. But surprisingly, no one's buying that. I'm not too surprised that this theme isn't the most popular because there's only so many people that can relate to it. There's not that many gamers, and of those gamers, not that many of them who are into Pusheen. Limited market. So next, what's this? Oh, we got an ornament, and this I think is just a paper ornament. No, it's plastic. Again, it says level up. It's got Pusheen on it. It's like a thick vinyl. It's still two-dimensional, but it's like a thick vinyl ornament. So not the best quality, but still decent. And the ornament's going for about 12 to 15. Next, we got a, what is this called? A sleeve. An electronic sleeve. It's basically a iPad and or laptop sleeve. And it's got Pusheen gaming on there, so that's pretty cool. That's going for about $15 to $20. Next, we got a mouse pad and we got a wrist guard. Really weird to get these nowadays because so few people give them away. They used to be everywhere back in like the early 2000s. Everywhere was giving away free mouse pads, and I thought it was so stupid. Now I finally have a use for them. I use them as like table mats. Basically, you can't see underneath these boxes here. I have mouse pads everywhere. It works great for food. It doesn't ruin the table. It keeps your food warm. It's also a decorative pad. Again, I'm rambling. I'm just saying I use them now, and you can't find them anywhere. They're impossible to find, or people want outrageous prices. So, really weird item, but awkwardly enough, I'm really excited about it because I need mouse pads. After that ramble, the price on this, $15 to $20. And this is just, the wrist guard's actually really nice. It's not an inflatable one like most of them. It's got a pad in there, and it's like a nice leather texture, and it's actually sewn. So the quality on the wrist guard is actually very nice. And the mouse pad is a mouse pad, the same quality. So, what did I say? 15 to 20? Yep. And then one more thing, we got a little cable bite, and that's just a cable connector. And this one's pretty good because it's like large and flat. I've had problems with the cable connectors before, not staying on. This one looks like it will, which is great. 10 to 12 on that. And pretty much all these things are selling online for those prices, minus the figure. That brings our value on the low end, 127, on the high end, 157, which again is just fucking crazy. That's so much. This ends up being, depending on where you get it shipped to, like a $55 to $60 box, right around there. And on the low end, easily getting more than double what you paid for. On the high end, getting almost triple what you paid for. That is crazy. That is unheard of. A few boxes in the history of subscription boxes have ever done that, and this box seems to do it consistently. So for that reason, I'm giving it another 10 out of 10. Not only is it very specific, it's very well themed. The quality on all this stuff is very great. It's hard to show you in the picture sometimes, but if you held it and feel it, you feel it. It has weight to it. It has texture to it. They do a good job, and everything in here is 100% exclusive. So they just do a fantastic job, and there's really no other way to put it. But this company, Culturefly, does various boxes. I've gotten their boxes in the past. I did the World's Finest Collection, which was DC. I did the Nick box. I've done the Dragon Ball box. I've done a bunch of other stuff, and all their other ones usually suck, which is so weird. Why is one so amazing and all the other ones crap? So I often will come back and give them a second or third chance just to check in on them, just for fun. So I've gotten 2 new ones, but they're both from Culturefly. The first one is the Dunder Mifflin box, which is just stuff from The Office. Very simple. They try to do themes, and I think for a while they were doing like seasons, like they would do, the theme would be a specific season, which is cool. I don't mind that at all. And it's a pretty popular show, so I figured, it might have some decent value. So let's take a look at what we got. First of all, the inside of the box, very decorated. Like the box itself is really cool. So that, I wish I could give it some value, although it's just a box, but very well designed box. It's just random. So starting with the shirt, we got a long sleeve holiday Dwight shirt. Long sleeve tee. So this gets more value. I know all t-shirts get a standard $12 to $15 value, but if it's long sleeve or something special to it, they do get specific values. This one is going for about $20 to $30. Long sleeve shirt, and it's got some designs on the sleeves too, which I know add to the quality, so pretty good. I like that. And the quality on it feels pretty nice. I didn't try it on, which I realized I probably should have beforehand, but it looks nice. It feels nice. I don't know if it's going to fit perfectly or not, but quality on that is very good. Next, we got a scarf. Now, here's where I started running into problems, because there is just no information on a lot of this stuff. This is the rare time. Usually there's some information, but only a little. For this box, there were items I couldn't find anything on. Not a single listing, not a single sale, not a price, not anything. So some things I just kind of had to guess, and this was one of them. It's nothing special. It's just got stripes, and then it's got the logo right there from the show. So very basic scarf. and there was nothing on there. Oh, it says Dunder Mifflin in the middle too. No information. So I basically went off what other scarves from Culturefly are going for, because the Nick box had some. They've all had them at various times, and they all went for like 15 to 20. I think that's a fair evaluation because there's nothing super special about it. And scarves are just a hard sell in general because so few places in the country actually could use them, and in there, of those people, so many people actually do use them. So it's a very limited market. Here where I live, I don't think I've ever seen someone wear a scarf. I've never worn one. I don't think I've seen anyone wear one just at any point, so pretty irrelevant to me. Next, what do we got? Socks. Got some holiday-themed white socks, and that's him dressed as an elf, and they're the really soft, fluffy kind. Same thing, I found one listing for them. The person was asking 15, but again, wasn't selling them, so that's the only information I have to go off of. I don't think they're worth that necessarily, but I think if I gave an honest opinion, 10 to 12 I think is fair, but all the information out there, 15, so I kind of have to go based on that and use your best judgment yourself. Next. Oh, we got a snow globe. Probably should have opened this up. I'll put a picture on later. So the snow globe, again, people were listing it for 18, wasn't selling for that, weren't a lot of sales for it. It's very cheaply made. It's not a 3D figure in there, which I thought was kind of the point of snow globes. It's like a two-dimensional placard in there that's just like a piece of plastic. I thought the whole point of snow globes was to put something three-dimensional in there. So it seemed very cheaply done, so I'm not surprised why it's not selling. And honestly, $18 is a high asking price. I would put it around like 8 to 10 personally, but again, that's the only information we have, so going off that. Then we got a mug set. We got Jim and Pam as matching mugs, and it looks like mugs they have in the show, and then it has their picture on it. This is one of the few things that I think is designed pretty well. It's got little inside jokes around it, all kinds of little things. It was basically little images of the things that Jim put in the teapot. If anyone remembers from season 2, I think it was, when they did Yankee Swap, and Jim gave Pam the teapot. All the things that were in it are like pictures around the mug. So again, these are being listed for 25 to 30, not selling for that. If I had to give my honest opinion, I would say 15 to 20 probably. That would be my guess. But again, what they're listing it for, if you technically wanted to buy it, you'd have to pay 25 to 30. Next, we got the keychain. This is kind of weird too because it is the Shamrock keychain, but as far as I can tell, it doesn't reference The Office at all. It literally just is a Shamrock keychain, and it looks like the one that Creed gave Jim, I think it was, or was that who it was? I can't remember off the top of my head. Someone gave that to someone in that same episode I was talking about. It just is a Shamrock keychain. It's very plain. So again, this is being listed for $8, but not selling for that because unless you keep it in the package, there's no reference to what it is. So kind of poorly put together there. Then we got some pins/buttons. I call them buttons because they're the ones that are like dome-shaped and just have the safety pin in the back. Pins are the ones that you're push in. So these are buttons, and these are going for, again, being listed for $8, but not selling that. I would have put them at 5 to 6, but if you wanted to buy them, you'd have to pay $8. So all that being said, that brings our value on the low end of $109, on the high end of $129. But keep in mind the things I just said, all these prices not selling for that, so not technically worth that. The values I gave, the more realistic values, would put this box pretty much where you paid for it. It'd probably be around a 60-ish, maybe a little more dollar range, which is not good. Considering that you pay almost $60 for it, that's not good value. And like I said, a lot of things in here were very cheaply done and very poorly put together. But all that being said, I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10. Because it was office stuff, it was cool to see. Some things were done well, like the cups, for example. They did a good job on those. They just kind of half-assed some of the other ones. And who knows, as the holiday season passes and this box has been out for a while, or maybe after seeing this video, maybe those sales will pick up. I think they do have the potential to, so I wanted to be fair, but it's again pretty disappointing considering the other box that we got is so amazing. I will keep this one and the next one around for one more month at least, to, give them a fair shot because everyone has a bad month. I want to give them at least that chance to have 2 boxes, and then we'll see from there. So 6 out of 10 on that. Next one, in a very similar theme, Friends, also from Culturefly. I've now officially tried most of the boxes they put out, most of the subscription boxes. Same thing I thought about The Office. Very popular show, has remained popular for 30 years, which is crazy. Very popular stuff, but not a lot of collectibles exist for Friends up until just recently. So, same thing. I thought it might be a good thing, and if the box sucks, maybe the things will be worth money and I can sell them. So, first we got a sweater. Same situation I said before. I put in my t-shirt size, but my sweater size is completely different. This would be very snug on me and look very stupid. And again, this one's not very well put together either. As you can see, pretty basic until you really get up close. It says Central Perk, and then it just has their names. So, very little reference to what it is, and just kind of looks like a regular Christmas sweater. Like I was saying before, no information out there. There was one sale for that, and it did sell for $45, and then there was no other listings. And honestly, a comparable sweater like that I think would go for like $30. So I'm giving it a $30 to $45 range, somewhere in there. Next, we got 2 tote bags, but they are very small. They're super tiny. And then we got the holiday armadillo, and then Monica with the turkey on her head. Very small tote bags, which is weird because it's hard to find things to use them for. And same situation where there was not much information out there. People were asking $30 for them online, but none of them sold for that. My honest value, I would put them at $10, and that's being generous, honestly. They're pretty small, and they're very low in quality. They're very plasticky. They don't have like a cloth feel whatsoever, so $10 is a pretty generous value, I think. Next, we got our garland. This is decently sized, but again, very, very cheap. This is just, it's barely cardboard. It's just like thick paper. That's all it is. All of them stacked together is that, and it's just the stockings with their names on it. And it's like, again, it's barely referencing Friends. I don't know if they had licensing issues or something, but a picture or something or a joke or a quote, literally just their names. It would take someone a second to read through all of them and be like, oh yeah, that's Friends. And also just very cheaply done. So, same situation. Someone's asking $23 for it online. No one's paying that. No one's going to pay that. My honest opinion, I'd put it at $5. You see stuff like that all the time when I walk in Target. They have that dollar section. You see dollar store stuff like that easily. Maybe not necessarily Friends, but things very similar to it for $1. So, I think the $5 value is being generous. Next, we have our candy molds. And as you can see, not candy molds, ice tray. I don't know anyone that would use these for candy molds. I guess you technically could. I don't know. I've never cooked them before or made them. I don't know if these would work, so you could technically. But again, it just seems like they took something they already had and was very common and just rebranded it. Took an ice tray of trees, which again, you can find at the dollar store, and then just wrote Friends on there and rebranded it as a candy mold. And that's really dumb. So that being said, people listing it for $18, not selling. Honest opinion, $5 value. I think that's generous. It could only be worth like $1. The fact that they put Friends on it makes it a little more value. So $5 to $18. But so simple. All they did was write Friends on there. Very, very basic. Very disappointing. Next, we got a pillowcase. What does it say? Oh yeah, here's to a lousy Christmas and a crappy New Year. I think that was the first season, if I'm remembering correctly. So there it is. Again, pretty cheap. Very smooth feeling, kind of plasticky. Not super high quality. That same situation being listed for $25. No one's paying that. Honest value, I'd put it at like $10. So $10 to $25. Next, we got a snow globe. And this is Ross of the Holiday Armadillo. This is actually pretty cool in theory until you realize the same thing I realized about the Office globe, and that it's a two-dimensional figure. So you turn it sideways, you can't even see what it is. Two-dimensionals. And again, I thought the whole point of a snow globe was to have a three-dimensional thing. It's so cheap to just do a two-dimensional cutout. Like they really couldn't put any more effort into it. And it's also a hand drawing, which is kind of crappy, but not a big deal. So, same situation. People online are asking at least $80 for that. $80 is the lowest listing. All the rest are $100 and up. I don't know where people are getting these values from. That's fucking crazy. I would put this a generous value, $10. I mean, it might sell for a little more if it had some more quality to it, but it's just like a slim piece of paper in there. You can make that yourself. It's just very cheaply done. So value range on that, somewhere between $10 and $80. Kind of up to you where you value a lot of those things. Is there anything else? Yeah, one more thing. Wrapping paper. And as you can see, not a lot of it. You could maybe wrap one gift. So same thing there. People are asking $20 online for it. No fucking ways anyone paying that. So I'm going to be generous and put it at $5. Again, I think this is dollar store quality, but being generous there. That brings our total value on the low end, $75. On the high end, $241, which is, again, those are the, if you wanted to buy everything in this box separately, technically you would have to pay that price if you weren't buying someone's box off them. But my honest value, lower than $75. Honestly, probably what you paid for it. So that being said, 5 out of 10 on that. Really crappy quality. Really disappointing, honestly. I can't believe they put so much effort into certain boxes and almost none into others. I don't understand that. Why? Why are they putting 2 seconds of effort in this, but putting like years of effort into Pusheen? It just doesn't make any sense to me. And you'd think it's like only certain boxes. It's like, no, it's just the one. Just the one. Every other box from the company I've tried has been absolute shit and not worth it. These were okay. The last 2 were okay, not great. 6 and a 5. It's $60. It's quarterly now, but still $60 is a lot of money to be risking for something that's such low quality. So that was it for the month. These are the new boxes I tried that I wanted to get out there. Very surprising on the value. It's kind of crazy, honestly. And that was it. All 8 boxes, got through them pretty quickly, and going to keep this short. So if there's anything you'd like to see, please let me know. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and I'll see you on the next video. Thank you all for watching and supporting. Love you all. Peace.